I punched my wife's brother in front of his entire family after he dumped hot spaghetti on my head. Everyone stared at me like I was the criminal. My wife didn't even ask if I was burned. She just said, "Take it, apologize." So I bought a one-way ticket to Hawaii, and 5 minutes later my phone exploded with 315 calls and texts. Family reunions with my in-laws always felt like an audition I never passed. They were rich, polished, and loud about it. They talked ski trips and investment properties like it was weather. I sat there, smiling on command, trying to become furniture. My wife glowed around them, then dimmed the second she looked at me. Her brother Tristan hated me from day one, not for anything I did, just for existing in the wrong tax bracket. He'd joke about my job, my clothes, my small-town manners, and the table would laugh like he was doing stand-up. I kept looking at my wife for backup. She kept giving me the same look back. Don't make a scene. That night, he decided he wanted an encore. He stood up with a big ceramic dish of spaghetti. Then he smiled like he'd already won. Next, he said, "You look pale, man." After that, the dish tilted over my head. Hot sauce hit my scalp and ran into my eyes. Then noodles slid down my face and into my collar. And the whole room went silent until he laughed. It wasn't a chuckle. It was full body, proud of himself laughter. People gasped, but nobody moved. No napkin. No, "Are you okay?" My wife just sat there frozen like my humiliation was embarrassing her. Something snapped. I stood up, dripping marinara, and my fist moved before my brain did. One punch. Clean contact. He hit the floor with his designer loafers in the air. Suddenly, everyone found their voice. How could you? Tristan could have a concussion. Call a doctor. Not one person said, "Why did he pour hot food on you?" They only cared that the golden boy finally got touched. I walked out to the porch to breathe. My shirt was ruined. My hair smelled like garlic and failure. My wife followed me like a disappointed manager. "That was quite a performance," she said. "Your brother dumped hot spaghetti on my head." She crossed her arms. "You know how he is." I stared at her. "So what now?" "You apologized," she said. "You should take every insult and apologize. You embarrassed us. Us. Like I was hired help who forgot the script." I said no. Her face went cold. "Then don't bother coming home tonight." That was the moment I realized my marriage had a mission statement. Absorb abuse, smile, say sorry for bleeding. I drove off. I stopped at a gas station, bought water and napkins, and looked at myself in the mirror. Sauce in my hair, red stains on my collar, 30 people watching me get humiliated, and the only person who should have been on my side asking me to grovel. So I opened a travel site and booked the first one-way flight I could afford, Hawaii. 5 minutes later, the universe delivered the funniest part. My phone lit up like Times Square. My wife, her mom, her uncle, cousins I barely knew. Tristan, threatening lawyers through a swollen jaw. Not one message asked if I was okay. Every message demanded I come back and fix this. I turned my phone off and kept driving. Hawaii felt like oxygen. I found a cheap rental near the beach, washed the marinara out of my hair, and slept for 12 hours straight. The next day, a local surf shop owner saw me struggling with a broken website at a cafe and asked what I did for work. I fixed her site for fun, she told her friends. Then their friends. Turns out, I wasn't useless. I was just surrounded by people who needed me small. When I finally turned my phone back on, the voicemails were worse. My wife cried on cue. Her family called me unstable. They said I was running away over a fight. Nobody admitted the part where he assaulted me with boiling pasta. That told me everything. I hired a lawyer, filed for divorce, and stopped negotiating my dignity. 3 months after the spaghetti stunt, I signed the final papers in a small office overlooking the ocean. My hand didn't shake. My ring was already gone. For the first time in years, I felt light. Somewhere back on the mainland, they were probably still blaming me for ruining dinner. I was too busy watching the sunset to care. So what would you have done? Apologize or book the ticket?